Born in the shadows, he charted his course through a magic universe of his own creation. And here among the sunlit hills of southern France, at last he reached his home. Vence, a village of flowers, sanctuary and inspiration for an artist of our time who will live for all time, Marc Chagall. This, the studio where his later masterpieces have been painted. A treasure house of cherished memories where the past and present live as intimate companions. Here are memories of love and beauty. Memories of passionate youth when Picasso, Braque, and Chagall were firebrands who kindled a revolution. Memories that span 3/4 of a century. His birthplace, the dark confines of a Russian ghetto. But Chagall's genius would transform the grim reality of poverty and oppression into fabulous visions on canvas. Death in the streets of Vitebsk. But why the gay fiddler on the roof? The candles about the corpse. Where does reality end and the dream begin? Even these, his earliest works, bear the unmistakable stamp of his Quicksilver personality, blending the somber shades of melancholy with colors whose brilliance reflects his glowing love of life. A man apart, yet always attached to his family, here painted by the ritual candlelight. As Chagall wrote, Friday after Sabbath dinner, father invariably fell asleep. Mother's eyes became sad and she would say, children, let us sing. Chagall the buoyant, he launched dogs into the skies like angels. But there is a demon in him too, a satanic power to lift off the rooftops and expose the naked souls of the mortals inside. Always the pendulum of Chagall's restless emotions swings back to gaiety, to music. His private dream world took wilder and wilder form on canvas. For when Cubism shattered the physical shape of things, Chagall went deeper to blast away the superficial shell of conscious thinking and free the chaotic images buried in the mind. Forerunner of the expressionists sowing the seeds of surrealism, he proclaimed down with naturalism, impressionism, realistic cubism. Welcome to our new madness, a revolution to the hilt. In his reverence for life, Chagall repeatedly symbolized the miracle of birth. Animals, too, were a source of innocent wonder and warm compassion, as in The Cattle Driver, painted in 1911. The cryptic title of this work, To Russia, Asses, and Others. It signaled a further break from naturalism. Off with their heads, if necessary, to satisfy his feeling for the perfect composition, his strange and seething inner vision. His years in Paris, the art capital of the world, brought new maturity to his work. Inspired by the masters of the past, influenced by and influencing his great contemporaries, he still remained himself. It was always the nostalgic memory of Russia which gave him inspiration and subject material. And then the mystic attraction of his homeland was too strong to resist. In 1914, he returned, only to be trapped by the outbreak of war. Back in Vitebsk, he felt an overpowering need to record everything he saw, to preserve his childhood on canvas. The clock ticked on, the candle burned, and soon youth, too, would be a memory. It seemed that nothing had changed in this provincial town where he was born. It was shabby, teeming with life as always, but the relentless touch of time had aged friends and relatives, and only he could keep them from being snatched away into oblivion. He broke down the ancient superstition among his people against painted images and induced them to sit for him. The proud town patriarchs, the rabbis, the beggars. He painted them as he saw them, completely realistically, but with that bold Chagall trademark, his fantastic choice of color. In the freezing Russian winter, Chagall again was haunted by a dream, this time a terrible nightmare, not of flying, but of falling, an old man falling into the snowy street. But springtime returned to revitalize his spirit. While in Russia, Chagall married his boyhood sweetheart, Bella, and the happiness of his family life again sent his vision soaring. The death of his wife in 1944 cast a shadow across his life and his work. But in 1952, a second marriage to Valentine Brodsky brightened his later years. Here in Vence, Chagall continues the long adventure, pursuing what he calls his chimera, that sudden flash of inspiration which comes only after patient and relentless effort. For each creation is a blend of experience and intuition, of then and now, of things seen and things dreamed. Strengthened always by the support of his wife, he performs his work of magic. Through the alchemy of his palette, brushes, and oils, these flowers from his garden will bloom forever. Chagall's simplicity of spirit makes even a stroll through the village an exciting voyage of discovery. Fruits, vegetables, the prosaic objects of everyday life, all these are grist for the mill of his imagination. In his paintings, Chagall has always defied the laws of gravity, sending humans, animals, the most earthbound objects leaping into the skies. And so he has always been fascinated by creatures who actually fly under their own power. His inquisitive pencil captures that power on paper, sketches that are source material for future works. From the fragrance of flowers, from the essence of moonlight, Chagall distills a love potion that intoxicates all the senses. A tender masterpiece certain to make even the most jaded yearn for lost innocence, as it guides the innocent into that secret bower where ecstasy is forever young. "1939, the drums beat and life is turned upside down. Chagall is haunted by the carnival of destruction about to begin. Love and happiness are trampled as the monsters spring from the dark caverns of his mind. Time is running out. Now the tune his fiddlers play is the dance of death. A red angel falls from the skies to symbolize a world gone mad. In 1941, Hitler marches into Russia, and as flames engulf the villages of his homeland, Chagall in France flees from the oncoming Nazis to the haven of America. Slowly he regains his self-confidence and faith in the future of mankind. To war and destruction, he answers with paintings of radiance and hope. Chagall had long dreamed of reuniting the Old and New Testament in a visual testament of his own abiding faith. Paintings of the heroes, like King David in the proud years when he reigned over Israel. The prophets, touched by the divine madness, lost in meditation. Giants who can exist only on the summits of human experience. In creating 12 stained glass windows for a hospital in Jerusalem, he symbolized the tribes of Israel, not with forbidden graven images, but with fabulous beasts, flowers, rotating stars and suns, drawn from the words and spirit of the holy book which had possessed him since childhood. From his first drawn conception, they gradually take form until finally they are realized in the brilliant translucent medium of glass. Window painting, a lost art, recreated in the modern spirit by the genius of Chagall. And so Chagall works on, forming new concepts with new materials. His restless hand still exploring the vast dimensions of his fantasy world. A world he thus describes for us in the beautiful words of his own poem. Only the country which is in my soul belongs to me. I enter there without a passport as I do in my home. It sees my sadness and my solitude. It soothes me to sleep and covers me with a fragrant stone. The gardens are flowering in me. My flowers are invented. The streets belong to me, but there are no houses. They have been destroyed since my childhood. Their inhabitants are floating in air, seeking shelter. They live in my soul. Now it seems to me that I am going ahead, even when I withdraw, going against a high portal behind which lie walls in which spent thunders sleep and broken rays of light. Only the country which is in my soul belongs to me.